Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome to Inside Out Alignment. Your host, Mary Tapper, your platform for self-discovery and creativity. It's my honor today to present to you our guest, Mr. A commander Satyendra aka Winco Chau. So he is an air veteran and international coach, Federation certified life coach, an executive coach, and organization development coach. Besides a master in business administration, he works with aspiring entrepreneurs, executives, and youth, as both men and women who are confronting challenges at multiple fronts arising out sudden losses of near or dear ones, serious health issues, mental and emotional issues, issues of stressful lifestyle, career, relationships that might be between spouses, grown-up children, parents, work-life balance, and many other issues arising out of sudden extremities and pressures of rapidly changing environment. He runs a coaching firm, Resilience, coaches and consultants in Bangalore, India. So we are speaking to Mr. Winco Chau from India. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mary. The pleasure is all mine, and it's an honor to be there. Uh, the little that I knew you and about your podcast, well, actually, I was waiting when would I get a call to come on here.
Thank you.
So, so it's really a pleasure.
Thanks for being here. Well, one thing that really caught my attention was you talked about balance and alignment. And sometimes, most of the time, we feel like there is that imbalance, or we feel like we are drawn by so many things in life. And I would really love to know when you talk about balance and alignment, how do you get to that state, especially during this unprecedented time when people feel like a lot is happening, just for a year, 2020 is a lot to deal with. And with somebody like you, I know you bring some insights that will help people, try to maybe step back and find something, to be able to stand and have that balance in their life. Can you share something with us today?
Yes. So let me give you a small, not really a background, but yes, whatever is happening around us, if you look at it, everything is in place.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you call it gravity, you call it, distances. The entire galaxy, in a way, is in some balance. So it is, if it moves out a fraction, a minute fraction also, it would cause an havoc. And we are an extension of this energy. That is how I take life to be. I strongly believe that we are the same energy that is around us. Yes, it is a biological combination of, if you may say, biology, spiritual sciences, and physics that we are here. So that is one logic that I give. The other one is that, like here in India, we believe there are four pillars to your life. So, and those four pillars are, uh, what you earn, your religion or spirituality, your faith, and your family, and your needs. So with all those things, if I have to translate them in very simple terms, when you are born, you necessarily need to take care of your health. The next thing which comes is that when you are growing up, or even when you're born, it is the relationships which are around you. Third is, as you keep growing, then you need some occupation or some profession, some kind of earning that you need to, that is your income or whatever that you want to earn. And last but not the least is how you strike a balance between all this, which we term as our lifestyle. So it is that aspect which I am talking of. If that is not in place, let's take an example. For an example, you have good health and somewhere not good relationships. If you have good health and relationships And if you do not have an occupation to kind of sustain or further whatever is around you, you are again getting a setback. So that is where balance is the key. So when I talk of balance, I talk of balance within, and you would understand it better. And the connection is that we are far more subtler in this bodily, so-called bodily, and the subtler frames, which is existential in nature with the environment around us. So, which plays a very important part. So, you need to be in balance with yourself. You need to be in balance with the environment. You need to be in balance with the energies around you. And next comes your alignment. How do you align? So you would find that things are much better when they're aligned, whether you call it center of gravity, whether you call different names. So the heavier has to be at the bottom, and then you go on becoming leaner on top. So that is how you probably, are standing firm on ground. So, and then comes the alignment with the, uh, again, the existential world around us. That is, you may call them planets, you may call them energy in different forms. So now coming to your question of how does one maintain this balance and alignment in these crucial times? Yes, uh, it is a perspective one needs to have, that we are connected in some which way to the environment. And it is vice versa. The environment is our doing, and we are uh, the, you know, or maybe a very crucial part of this environment. So that is, if we've understood that, then we would know that you need to be good at all times, whether in scarcity or in abundance. So uh, till yesterday, if I may say, we had enough. We had good relationships, we had occupations, we had everything going good for us till about few months back. And now suddenly, for any reason, when there is a crisis, one needs to just look within and try and strike this balance as to, okay, if I was getting enough earlier, then today, if it is scarce, can I maintain that sanity by maybe eating a little less, doing a little less, indulging a little less, and countering it with maybe thinking a little more, spending time where I couldn't, little more. And at the end of the day, I also believe that although partly we are, uh, offspring of the so-called survival theory, that survival of the fittest, yet I strongly feel that I am the most powerful mm, being on this planet. So, and that is where I make the difference, whether it is technology, whether it is understanding, or whether it is living life. That is how our planet, this earth, is so beautiful, because it has uh, a creature, a living being called as humans there. So we are, in a sense, so very powerful, yet we do not know this. Nobody told us. They tried, people tried, yet somewhere we couldn't communicate it to the people that the power lies within, because we are part of this energy which is around us. Some call it soul, some call it God. We ourselves say we are God's children. How can God's children not be as powerful as God? I'm just trying to think. So, and from the time I have realized that, even I didn't know this, by the way, so my awakening was very late. But from the time I realized that, I find that things are turning out good, better, and best with every passing day. So I'm having the best times today after hanging my uniform after about 30 odd years. So if I wouldn't be believing in that, and if it wouldn't be working out, not only for me, for people around who have started to think in those terms, who have started to understand and be aware of all this abundance that is around us, and all this power that is within me. So that is where the crux lies. A very long answer to a very short question, but yes, it is you yourself develop, I mean, kind of dwell into this part of spirituality, so you would know that one, I call it, one lifetime is not enough to understand it. It is very subjective, and we try to bring some objectivity to it.
Definitely. I don't think that was a long answer. I think that was a powerful answer because you went deep and bringing into many other parts of it and, showing that connection. And I think that that
Thank you.
helps, bring out, really give more clarity on what you're explaining to us or what you're bringing into us. So I really appreciate you taking that time to dive deep. Yeah. So, the next question I think is going to follow up with what I just asked about, and this is about you talking about creating destiny. That's the resilient lifestyle, and this like just brings me into thinking, what is he talking about? Like that having that resilient lifestyle. I know it is in connection with the being in that balance and alignment state. Yeah, but can you delve a little bit more into this for more clarity, please?
Yes. So, like I said, my awakening was pretty late in life, yet still in time to understand and grow and mature and enjoy life when it really is. You know, I say I have just begun actually. People say, "Is it this is your second innings?" I say, "No, this is my first, and I have a long way to go. I have another 50 years behind me." So when they say 50, I said, yes. Why do you think it is odd? No, people are living beyond 100.
Thank you.
So so I would live. I have put my cap at 111. Let's see. So anything between 108 to 111, and I would go on there. So now coming back to like I said, I call it awareness. So when and understanding, first of all, that it is all there. Like I was telling you that religion has always tried to explain this, and spirituality is just a next stage. Uh, Probably I say where religion and spirituality begins. Otherwise, yes, somebody could, like I said, it is very subjective. So it could be maybe some total of everything, religion, spirituality, more or less. They are all leading us to one goal. That is, yes, you are entity which is born out of certain godly godly intervention. At the end of the day, when there is no answer to the last question mark, that is where we would end it to. So and now how do I say that one can transform reality? So what is reality? Whatever I think, and the thought itself is a vibration and energy in any which way, and that thought further develops into uh, belief if practiced for a long time. And in normal cases, a thought leads to certain emotion leads to an action, and a persistent action creates a behavior or a pattern which leads you into a personality. And what is a personality here? It is a person's reality. So, if a thought could create that reality unknowingly, when I become aware of this understanding, I say that yes, the reality is created by that thought, which may had come into my mind unconsciously or unintentionally or involuntarily. If I start thinking about it, or maybe taking a pause and involving my higher senses, if I may say so, which are intellect, wisdom, and the intelligence, intuition that I have. These are few qualities which we are all born with. These are the essence of the spirits or the energy or the soul. So, if you understand that those are the things which you can put into action before converting a thought into an emotion and action, then you can always create your reality. It only is, like I call it, thinking deeper, which is part of coaching terminology, and which I've learned from there, that if you can just take a pause, and for thinking deeper, the only difficulty is that you need powerful questions. So, can you question yourself powerfully? If you can think deeper. Now, second aspect is thinking differently, I call it. Although what I call differently, here I need to be little careful, because it may get you into the jamboree of words there. When I say thinking different is actually thinking natural. So which has come naturally to me. Uh, like I was looking at a forward which came to me, which had shown stages of man. As a child, they had shown this bigger heart and this small a brain. And as a child keeps growing, the heart became smaller and the brain became bigger, which I call the acquired intelligence, which is
Mm-hmm.
certainly required. Yet the environment around us somehow plays on us and it decides how I think. And it starts happening. The science has proven now that it starts happening in the mother's womb. When you are a fetus and you are few weeks old, your conscious starts developing, your subconscious mind starts working there. And slowly, as you keep growing, and then when you come out and you see this world, the people that you interact are your parents and then your relatives. Like a child can learn 3 to 4 languages at the same time if there are people around him. There's no tutor required. Whereas for an adult, you require lot of efforts to learn a language. So the brain state is, and it is again, there's another science of a different brain state at that moment where your thoughts are lesser. So if you can go back to that state, you can always take a pause and think, is my response to a stimuli the same as it was earlier, or it could be better or different? That is where I call thinking differently. Whereas it is thinking, for a child, it was natural. For a
Mm-hmm.
child, uh, when it felt like, hungry, it started crying or whatever when it couldn't express. So, whereas now I think twice, oh, am I really hungry? Or do I need to, or if I ask this, what would the other person think? Or what would my mom think? Or what would my wife think? What would my daughter think? So all those things were not there. So see, number of thoughts were very less with the child. And as an adult, now those are the stimuli which I have acquired actually. And now I start to respond, uh, which is called natural is not natural, which is called obvious is not obvious. Like you say, oh, somebody yelled at me, it was obvious to me to get angry. No, your natural self said you should be laughing. You try shout at a kid for in a normal not every time, but a normal this thing, kid doesn't even mind. He or she is busy in her own thing, most of the times. So that is where there it came naturally. But now what is my natural is actually acquired. So now I need to think differently. So this is where I say you can create reality. And when you can create your reality, how far is destiny? Yes, there is only one catch, that the environment will still continue to play. So you may not be able to achieve the 100 or a 200% that you had thought of, yet you would certainly reach that 80 or 90% mark. And come to think about it seriously, you would find that yes, if right from the stages of inception, if I can think how a child is to be raised or even conceived for that matter, then the destiny can be created. Not that it can't be done later, it can still be done. Only thing is, effort required is much more. And you have to, like you were saying, that it is on the inside that one needs to, be with. But I also believe that it is quite a bit is environment which plays. Yet now you have to come to think that, do I need to change the environment and how do I do that? So if you can do that, the destiny can be created.
Beautiful. Thank you. And you did say you had your awakening a little late. I would say you had your awakening right on time. So
All right, thank you.
it's right on time. And can you tell us what sparked that awakening? How did you come to that awakening? What happened?
Oh, mm,
How did you
I think
realize it was that
when I say,
awakening?
yeah, when I call it awakening, I really don't mean it in those senses where it is, you know, awakening of a sort where I would turn Buddha. No, it was only awakening to the locked potential that I had, awakening to the understanding that yes, I need to be aware, I need to be mindful. And by the way, like we all know, and Eckhart Tolle says that we are all work in progress. So I am still learning. I'm still trying to be mindful. Like I have a stick on here, which has two words there, which says a and These are the two mannerisms which most of us have. So I have pasted them there and I'm working on them and I'm quite there. Even if I commit a fault, yet I am mindful of, oh, just now I did this which I had told myself. So it makes me a little more conscious. And this is where the difference is. So this is what I call my awakening. And how did it come? Yes, it wouldn't have come if I had not changed my environment. That is where I say I am born and brought up. My backgrounds are we are a warrior class and clan, or uh, if I may say, species or tribe. So hot blooded. So which is called Rajput community. So we are the fighter clans, and then fighter plus then you are in the defense forces. My dad was also an Air Force officer, so I have that background. My brother's an army officer. My grandfather was a freedom fighter, and his brother, who again was a freedom fighter, was also in the police services. So we have that kind of background. So it was always, if I would say, uh, which could, which was very apt for fighting. It was very apt for fighting. You are around with a lot of tempers flying or patience being very low. So it was my small little inclination towards yoga and then spirituality. And slowly I got into an environment where I said, okay, strike a balance. You are in the armed forces, and you are. I certainly was among very short-tempered people and very hot-headed. I think I still am. That basics will not go away so easily. That is how probably I may not be able to create my destiny at this stage. Yet, yet I did all that to get into an environment which was a little more spiritual and which gave me time to think. And it did happen at one instance where it suddenly came to me. That is how I call it awakening. But let me just give you a background here. Uh, I have come up from ranks. I did my flying, then I dropped out of my college. I joined the Indian Air Force in the ranks as a technician, and I'm very proud of that background because that is where I learned everything which I say, which the environment could give me. The hard work, the perseverance, the resilience part. That at things were not easy. They never came on a platter. I had to really strive for it, whether it was health. And I was born a very weak child. I have coined a new terminology, and without hurting any sentiments, I am only being very 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 innocent and pure when I say that I call myself product of malnutrition mother. Malnutritioned physically, emotionally, spiritually. That was the background. So I was a very weak child. I was weak, meek, feeble. I would be falling in very early, and it would continue. It continued in this, as I grew up also. Only thing is I had just put a label. Oh, I have low immunity, so I have ENT issues, cough, cold, and blah blah blah, and it would be a cycle and stuff like that. Yet, from the time I realized it, and like I said, I was in the ranks, and then at very late stage for some developments, whereas I had done my masters in marketing, and I wanted to pursue career outside of the armed forces. Again, for some reason, I had to opt for commissioning in the Indian Air Force. So that was environment playing on me, and which I'm so thankful for. So when I was going for the selection, I was put in a bracket which is for kind of oldies or repeaters, people who are kind of on a path where nothing matters to them. So somebody said, "Oh, this looks like a bunch of people who just here for fun." I said, "That might be your thinking. I'm here for selection." And I think that is what I call awakening. And I did very well in my board selection board, which is for 5 days. I went on to do very well during my training. I got the first in order of merit. I was the oldest in the batch, yet I came out with flying colors. And from then on, it was not looking, nowhere looking back. And before that, in terms of academics, I would always be, there I said, again. So I was among the mediocre 50% odd kind of percentage in my school and college and blah blah. But from here onwards, it would always be 75 and above. So that is where I say, what was it? It for me, it was an awakening to realize that I am so powerful inside. I have everything. What can stop me from thinking that if I still manage my life well, I would have a long and healthy life and happy life. So that is where this whole thing comes in. And resilience, like I gave you, built in that at every stage I had to learn things. And so only thing was when this awareness came, I started kind of documenting, okay, this is how it works and this is how it can help. And then the intent was to share it with only people around me. If I could make life better for self and family and friends and community around me, it would be worthwhile. And now, yes, I have made it my purpose to spread it across the world. Go ahead and do it with all the youth and everyone who I meet. I I still tell an octogenarian that you still have so much in you, so you could still go on. So that is where the resilience story comes in.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And for like really diving deep into, those thoughts, that's really a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. So, what would you say to somebody who is still like doubting about, because you talk about destiny and maybe finding their purpose in life? Because we hear a lot about purpose. What's my purpose? What is this? What is this? And people still like find it like really difficult to be like, okay, people talk about this a lot, but how do I get to it? What do I do? What is there a particular path for me to take to find that purpose, or what am I supposed to do? What would you say to somebody who still have lots of doubt on,
Yeah. So
finding that?
yes, I have already said it actually. Yet I would make it a little more objective here.
Mm-hmm,
So uh, when you have those doubts, they creep from where? They creep from here. And
mm-hmm,
what are those doubts? They are based on certain memory which is already stored, certain experiences which actually are a data bank to fall back. Like I said, oh, I have a poor health. That was my thinking. I I have a poor immunity. Oh, that was my thinking. Oh, I'm a mediocre student. No, 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 not my cup of tea. I can't do this. So and so from there, one has to start thinking that we are all powerful. Come to think of it, you have all the basics you that are required to run this universe. Actually, you are extension of the same energy which is running the universe. So you are as powerful as this. That is one. Now, how do you understand that? You need to change your environment. That is where I say, if you continue to be in the similar scenario, similar circumstances, similar environment, obviously you would end up,
playing.
generating those thoughts again. Yes. So if you have to make a, and like I said, you have to be you have to understand that you are this powerful. You have so much of potential around you to change this world. And go back and look at people. Yes, you may say, oh, somebody is very intelligent, but yet they also are college dropouts. Maybe they did think things differently. So here is the time to think differently, or go back and fall back on those strengths that you have, as those inborn, I call inborn potential. So unlock them. And now, like you said, oh, how do I do it? Yes, one is change your environment. The moment you change your environment and start being aware. When I say aware, I'm not really getting into the again, that part of awareness or mindfulness or that consciousness where you say that the entire world, the existential world also has got is a consciousness, and it has a consciousness. No, I'm just saying very simple things, that I will not uh, purposefully call out or so, as simple as that. If I'm drinking water, I would be conscious of taking every sip and feeling how does it feel? How does it go? When I'm breathing, the first, for me, in my system, I call the first basic is breathing. We all don't know how to breathe actually. We are not breathing proper. We're breathing normal, yet we're not breathing proper. So if we understand that, yes, oh, this is how, this is how I can breathe, or this is how I can eat, this is what nutrition can do to me. So and very important is change the environment. Next comes, take small steps, baby steps, inch steps. If you think you have to lose weight, maybe start with 2-minute exercise. 2-minute exercise, very people will be shocked and somebody would want to kick me on this, yet from 2 minutes you can go on to do 2 hours. But if you try to do 2 hours on day one, suddenly you'll collapse. And I, not at this stage now, I feel the need to look little better, not too lean. So I have put
Mhm.
on weight purposefully. Otherwise I had kind of gained mastery on cutting down weight, and not by dieting alone. Yes, diet does work, nutrition does work, yet it was a mix of everything, mix of water intake, mix of exercises, mix of yoga, meditation, sleep, good reading, good whatever you watch. So it's a mix of so many things, and also enjoying life. Once in a while, I want to say, oh, uh, let's have a ball. Okay, maybe chill out for a day, then come back and start that routine again. So small steps are very essential to bring that change. First is believe in the power that you have, so your mindset has to change if required. And all this, when I say this, I don't say that I want to do that or people you should do. No, if you feel the need, first of all, is the need has to be felt by you. It has to be realized by you, either uh, inadvertently, which comes from within, or maybe from environment which compels you to bring about certain changes. And then you go on to think what your environment is. Next is take small little steps to bring that change and see that happening. See that it is working for you. But belief is very, very important. If you believe that, yes, rising early, what does it do? And there one more aspect which I stress upon is hows. One has to, people tell you why. You will, why is very essential for every change that you need to bring or everything in the world. Second is what is to be done, which people will tell you. How it is to be done is somewhere left out. Somewhere, not everybody tries to say why should you get up in the morning. What is your state of your mind at that point? What is your brain state at this that time? And how does energies are enriched at that point in time? So with all that understanding, one can certainly bring about a change. I call it simple yet not easy. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to climb mountains. You have to do what you are made for. Like people say in terms of nutrition, okay, eat olive oil, use this, that. You be normal. You be what is required, what is produced at your place. I can't have fruits which are not, uh, uh, which are not grown here. So it is, and uh, if they are not grown here, probably they are not meant for my body. So one has to understand. So these are very simple things. Yet it, since we already have that mindset, and our memory and the data is so well written already, that to bring about certain changes, you will have to work on yourself.
Yeah, and that is certainly true. Being making a conscious decision of what is it that we really want, and you know, making it firm, because it's not living those old paradigms and those old patterns is not usually, just like you said simple, but it is difficult. It is difficult. Yeah, and that's why we still have people out here who are able to, who are helping others, like your partner in belief, just like you, a coach. You're helping people out here to be able to get out of that space and create a life that they want, or make their life better in any of the areas that they really want to change, or finding that purpose, or finding that or going into their destiny, which is a beautiful thing. So the support is here, the help is here, which is great. And what advice would you give to your 21-year-old self today?
Oh, awaken, awaken to yourself, to enjoy this beautiful life. I call uh, this creation so beautiful. And if you compare this with the pictures that you see of different planets that we go to, you will find we are so colorful. We have so much of variety. We are really those magnificent, beings around. So if you can awaken, and awaken well in time, that is where the difference lies. Yes, you may awaken little late, and then only thing is that uh, you already have a disk which is written, which is so well written that to erase certain things and then write a new one would be very time consuming. Like I said, for me, to say that I would create my destiny at this stage, will certainly, I will have to be very conscious to not say, and not say, so very conscious. Whereas if you begin early, uh, I say why 21? You can start much earlier. Yes, as a 21-year-old, maybe you can give it to your uh, next generation, which you going to bring into this world, and it would be such a beautiful place to be, enjoy, live. And actually, while I'm saying this, I also feel that all those people who have thought differently, or who have understood this, have made the difference. That is where you would find that, oh, sometimes you see what is so different in that person. What is he doing differently? He looks like me. He behaves like me. He is, kind of akin, very akin to me. Yet he was thinking differently than you. So that is where the whole difference lies. And what I am aiming at, the mission that I have set out, is to join hands with people who can bring about this awareness. I am, like I said, I am not here to bring about any change uh, until it is self warranted. So yet what I can do is disseminate this information, share it with people, create that awareness that yes, you could create your own destiny. It is very much possible. And everyone has, there is so much abundance. People talk of competition. I say you need to compete with only yourself. So like I was listening to our prime minister today. He was talking about fitness, and I'm also a fitness freak. So he said he draws his own line. He doesn't bother or tries to erase the other person's line. So you need to keep extending your line. So
Beautiful.
that is where you need to work, compete with yourself, and cooperate with others. I believe in empowerment. If you empower somebody else, maybe in the same profession, you would find that you would try to do better than that person. You would certainly want to, still maintain that where you were. So that is where the whole thing lies. So a 21-year, take a pause. There's so much of social media happening. Don't get sucked into that rabbit hole. Uh, Utilize technology and be the master of technology, and don't let technology become your master. At the end of the day, like I said, the most powerful creature is the human being on this planet, not the machines that he or she has created. So if you can understand that, I mean, you've actually made your day and made day for so many people around you. And this could be a so beautiful place to be. Oh, I just think of it and fantasize.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And can you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Oh, yes. This podcast journey, mm, I'll be candid here. Yes. So I didn't know what podcasting is, frankly, till about 3 months back or 4 months back. I didn't know what podcasting was. It was only that I was planning to create an online product. So I was given to understand that now you need to have some visibility and some credibility. People should know you, people should recognize you, they should start following you to trust you. All that is required. So I would do a small 2 minute, 3 minute piece on Facebook, and I was also undergoing to learn to launch a online business. So couple of people there, and as I say this, I'm slightly overwhelmed. One of the persons who told me that, sir, you should start podcasting, is no more. Uh, I mean, a good soul. We lost him yesterday. He was suffering from cancer, and believe me, that he had no, you know, nothing, no fretting on his face. He had told himself that he's living this life to the fullest. Although he knew he was suffering, uh, he was undergoing the cure, and he was the gentleman who told me, "Why don't you think of podcasting?" And my background in the Air Force was, as a hobby, I would be commentator for all the prestigious events, the flying displays, the aerobatics, and stuff like that. So this was a passion which was still there and a hobby. I said, oh, why not try and do this? Then came a situation where I also was compelled to think that many of my clients in my coaching came to me and they would bring about that change, yet they couldn't change their environment. They would tell me that the industry is like this, or the profession is like this, or their environment is such that they can't leave this. So they, like I said, if you have to change, bring about the real change and create reality, you have to change the environment. You can't be in the same environment and think of doing very different things. It would again require a Herculean effort. So, which would not the case. So I said, then as a coach, if I can't bring about that change which for which you've come here, or really can't give you a see through, I could give you a see through but you can't do anything, then what am I doing here? So they said, no, you give us a feel good thing, and we do take back something from you which holds us in good stead for a month, 2 month, 3 month, and then we'll be back with you. So I said, why not use this platform and air certain meaningful conversations, and through those meaningful conversations maybe somebody can pick up what is required. And believe me, one more thing which I keep saying is that management is way of life, and we all actually know it. Only somebody smarter than us, or if I may say different than us, decided to document it and sell it to the lesser smarter people, probably who were not using that wisdom. So that is how I said, in these communications or these conversations that we do, there is a lot of value which comes out, which may not be there in the books also, because all that, if they had to put everything in that, it would be this bigger volume. So, and I'm sure nobody's going to read that. So this is how the idea of podcast came through. And my podcast is called Know the Happiness How with Winco Chau, which necessarily aims at giving you the whys, hows, and the what's of resilient ways of living life. And I'm also working on a product with a couple of other very esteemed coaches. I call them legends actually. So hopefully we should be able to bring out a product which meets our vision and mission, that is to empower people with that resilient lifestyle, with that lifestyle which is purposeful, which brings them fulfillment, and so called they understand what that success is, and it also brings them that the buzzword happiness.
Hmm.
So that is all the uh, I mean it's all kind of a total package that I'm thinking of. So podcast is one of them.
Right, right, right. Is there anything else that you wanted to share,
Oh,
maybe
thank
about?
you so very much. I hope that we were able to add some value to the time of our listeners and viewers, if there would be some. And it would be pleasure to interact with them on one-to-one basis. We are building a website also, and very soon it will be launched. Otherwise, I'm available on LinkedIn by the name Wing Commander Satyendra Chauhan. I'm available on Twitter by the name Sati Chow One. I'm available on Facebook by the name Satyendra Chauhan and Instagram as Winco Chau. And if you can't find me anywhere, go to YouTube channel Know the Happiness How, and put your comments, and it'll be uh, actually a pleasure and privilege to be of some help.
Thank you so much, Winco Chau. And I just want to say that you brought a lot of content and it's in alignment with what my podcast is about. Working, from the inside and being aware and, bringing all that together about nutrition, our thoughts, and, underlying beliefs, our environment, and, bringing all that together. So I think you gave lots of uh, information that I hope and I pray that that the listeners actually take advantage of this and take their power back, and be at the forefront of their lives and creating that wonderful life that they want in any area that they really want to change. And I do have your information here where they can contact you. So this will be on the description box of this episode where they can reach you directly. So it's a beautiful thing. I know it's late over there in India. It's been a long day. You need some rest. Our day is starting
Yes,
here in Chicago. So thank you
yes.
so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today and
Thank you.
sharing.
Thank you.
Sharing.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled. And if you think that I could add some value, I am privileged.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And definitely you
Thank
did.
you.
So thanks again. Thanks, listeners, for being here. Thank you for taking advantage of this. Thank you for reaching out to Winco Chow if you have any questions, and there are strategy sessions that he can offer you, and then you see from how you can move from there and move forward. So do not hesitate. It is time for action. It is time for us, for all humanity, to come together in one spirit as who we are and live this beautiful life and explore the beauty of our planet. Yes, please.
Yeah, you used the word hesitate, so I'm tempted to say something which I had coined a few months back. I said, why hesitate if the intent is right, and the content would be right? If there is love in the heart and honesty, go ahead and do it.
Definitely. Definitely. And thanks for adding that as well. You
Thank
have a
you.
blessed and peaceful one.
Parting shot.
So bye for now and see you guys later on. So
Bye
thanks again
bye.
for listening. Bye.